And now, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. He's a successful entrepreneur, published author, top listing agent, a real estate and finance expert that goes to bat for you every day as a consumer advocate. Your host and the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rimes.
All right, welcome to the show. Thanks for spending some time with us here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. We are blessed and highly favored to be on air, broadcasting right here from Salem Media in Tampa Bay. Got Carmine Denisco joining us, United Inventors Association. Our friend Carmine back in studio with us. Some good stuff in the news. We're going to talk entrepreneurship, business, and some things happening in pop culture, et cetera, things like that. But a lot of good things happening around our team, the Consumer Quarterback Show. We've had an uptick in calls from our consumer advocate listening audience out there. We love to help you win in any marketplace, and we talk about that. We talk about all of our different 80 categories of consumer advocates. We have all types of great attorneys, CPAs, financial advisors, business owners, white collar, blue collar. In essence, whatever you're looking for locally, we want to be your local Google. Don't go to the online engines and type in there. Just give us a call, consumerqb.com, consumerqb.com. You can email there, and you can call us on the hotline as well. And Carmine give us a little teaser, Carmine, of what we're going to talk about today. United Inventors Association. He is the president, and he's running the thing. He's got about 100,000 plus folks, members in his group. What's happening, man?
What's going on, man? We are the biggest inventor group no one knows about.
Oh, I love it. Yeah. Isn't it interesting? I mean, it's kind of interesting, that entrepreneurship type thing. And, it's just a niche. I was just talking about in yesterday's show when, our grandparents didn't have the opportunities. Like the sun went down, you go to bed, you got to get up early and just go out and physically do it and handle it. Whereas today, people don't realize, or a lot of people take it for granted, rather, the opportunity we have from 7 p.m. to 11 o'clock at night. We can work on our dreams there, man. We can access the internet. We can do research. We can start a business from 7 to 11. What are you doing? I don't want to hear the excuses. I want to see it happen.
Whoa, man, 100%. Now we are open globally instantly. Well, we didn't have those abilities. Could you imagine? You started a business in your town. You could only reach out and touch people in your town, maybe the county. You put something online, you're touching people globally, and that is what's so cool about it.
The opportunities today are it's literally like a rocket ship, right? Like an Elon Musk rocket ship taking off to another planet, landing itself back on the ground. I mean, who would have thought that, right? I mean, he goes in and says, hey, why are you throwing these big old expensive things away? Why don't you land them and reuse them? That's, you think about thinking big, right? And what are some of the best products that you're seeing right now? What's some cool stuff out there?
There's a lot of really cool stuff. A lot of things currently right now with helping entrepreneurs, helping people expand, helping people reach out and touch people, sell things. And then also there's, those physical products still with Amazon and all of these products and ways to reach out and touch
the resellers.
People. Almost any product now can be a hit as long as you are targeting that right niche market. You don't try to talk to everyone, but you got to get out there and talk to people.
Riches in the niches.
Yeah, man.
You pick a niche, exploit the niche, take advantage of the niche. And yes, those are a little bit abrasive words. There's probably a cleaner word you could say, but that's the idea. You find out the niche and you want to go and attack that niche and be the best at that niche. And there's so much to being first in the marketplace for that.
100%. You read a lot, I read a lot, and people talk about being that big fish in the small pond.
Yeah.
But it's something to talk about. I hear all the time people are scared that they don't try to talk to everyone.
Yeah.
You don't need to talk to everyone because then no one listens.
Right.
You can't craft your talk. You can't craft your pitch to try to talk to everyone. Because everyone's not your customer. But there's so many people out there who are.
Yeah. And what you need to focus on as an entrepreneur, business owner, whether it's a product or service, is your 30 seconds, that elevator pitch. That's all you need to focus on, or one of the main things. I shouldn't say all. There's a lot of hats to wear in the entrepreneur self-employment business. But, you've got to craft that pitch and be ready for that one person that you get introduced to. because that's the way it works. You're going to get an introduction. And that's why Charlie Kirk talks about the college scam. He says, look, you know, a lot of ways college is a scam. You're overpaying for education that's not quite as good. Maybe you can get somewhere else, even on the internet, if you pick a certain topic. And then you're overpaying, and then the jobs aren't there and you're going into debt, right? But he says one thing I will say for college is your peer group, the people that you're going to school with, the different types of frats or whatever it is, you know, because you're only one step away from that person's uncle, cousin, friend, one of your friends that's going to hook you up with either a connection, the capital. It's out there, right?
That's how you know he knows what he's talking about. You're exactly right.
Yeah.
That's one thing that I didn't when I went to school. I didn't build that capital, that communication, that capital with the people I went to school with.
Right.
Who the heck would have thought that?
Right.
But 100%.
Yeah.
Yes, the school's great. You got to go through and do that. Yeah. But, man, it's the connections that will take you and drive you the rest of your life.
Yeah, it really is. All right, so that's a little teaser of what we're going to talk about today with Carmine Denisco on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Before we do, I want to get to a couple of hot listings here. We always feature our real estate properties. My wife Lindsay and I own a top 100 ranked team here in Tampa Bay. We help our sellers sell faster for more money, maximum profit, by maximum exposure. We're broadcasting up and down the entire Gulf Coast of Florida. We've got some of the best listings in all of Tampa Bay, 50-plus listings, vacant land, commercial, residential properties. We're helping you sell them. We got a pocket listing on a marina now that we're working on. A lot of good things happening. So we feature our listings on air, and it helps our sellers sell faster. 118 Lakeshore Drive. This one's on beautiful Lake Tarpon. You have that Florida lifestyle. You're going to live that Florida lifestyle to the fullest. You're going to be taking your boat out to dinner, lunch, enjoy that Florida lifestyle at 118 Lakeshore Drive East in Palm Harbor. You got a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 2-car garage home, 1,740 square feet, boat lift, boat dock, and your jet ski lift. So you have the best of those types of outdoor recreation, pool, granite countertops. Great opportunity. 118 Lakeshore Drive East in Palm Harbor, Florida. One of our hot listings from the Platinum MVP team. You can see all of our listings at platinummvpteam.kw.com.
And yeah, I'm raising my glass to those saving our ass overseas.
That's right. Yeah, shout out to all of our troops out there. We appreciate you. We love you. Thanks for all you're doing. All of our veterans and first responders. Everybody out there kind of under that umbrella, the first responder, teachers, nurses, seniors, deputies, police, fire. We love you all. We appreciate you, and we offer discounts for anybody out there buying, selling, investing, kind of wearing that hat out there with the Consumer Quarterback Show. Quick shout out, by the way, to Patriot Mobile, and we're going to talk about satellite phone store as well. If if you're thinking about changing a wireless provider, you got Patriot Mobile, longtime friend of the Consumer Quarterback Show. That's patriotmobile.com/consumerqb. patriotmobile.com/consumerqb. That's America's only Christian conservative wireless provider, Patriot Mobile, mobilizing freedom. And then satellite phone store. You got to have a satellite phone, or at least get one of those divvy sticks, they call it, where you can actually, if you're out in the canyons. Remember the story of the guy, Carmine, where he falls down in the canyon, he's stuck, he can't get out, and he ends up cutting his own arm to get out, right? So if you have a satellite phone or a divvy stick in your pocket, or let's say you're on the boat, just like the guys that played for the USF and the Bucks, another tragedy. They flipped the boat miles out there. They didn't have any of this stuff. But if you have a satellite phone store, check them out. They're down here in South Florida. They're at sat123.com/REQB. sat123.com/REQB, like real estate quarterback. And we appreciate you supporting all of our sponsors. Consumer Quarterback Show, powered by the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. Carmine, did you see any of the clips from Kelly? Kelly Shea was on the show. She did a great job.
I did. She's awesome. Kelly really helps us out at the United Inventors Association, and she's a friend to all inventors. She's awesome.
Yeah, really cool. And by the way, our YouTube channel, man, blowing up. I love the shorts. We're pumping out those shorts on YouTube, Insta, all the different social sites are going on, all the different TikToks and all that good stuff. But yeah, people really love those quick bursts of nuggets of energy and ideas, right?
Yeah, they really do. They don't have a lot of time, or in their mind they don't.
Right.
So quick information, bits of information that they can remember really helps them.
Yeah, the speed of pace today. I mean, you touched on something earlier that's just monumental when you think about an entrepreneur bringing out a product. Back in the day, you had to mail a letter, wait for it to come back. You're trying to set up your long run. You got a great idea. You want to sell it in South America or wherever, right? But today, I mean, the speed of business, the speed of life, right? If you don't return a text within a certain amount of time, some people start thinking, hey, what's going on?
Yeah, they do. It's amazing how quick and how fast people now expect information to get to somebody or back from somebody.
Yeah.
It's actually too fast. I mean, it's crazy.
It's at some point you got to slow it down. You got to like. Did you hear? I remember reading Tony Robbins' book, Money Mastered the Game. I went to his business mastery course in Fiji, and something in that book was essentially where one of the big firms, trading firms from Chicago, paid X amount of dollars, unbelievable number. I couldn't remember the millions or billions it was. but just to straighten the line to New York City to the stock exchange because they were losing X amount of dollars whenever they tried to execute a trade.
Yes. It is amazing when you look at stuff like that where seconds can cost billions of dollars.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, unbelievable, and it really is. I want to talk about entrepreneurship. I really have a place in my heart for young entrepreneurs and helping people that are on that ride up, because a lot of times I feel like maybe I didn't have that specific mentor, and whose fault was it? My fault. I didn't find the right place, right? So, the power of proximity is key in this game. When you're an entrepreneur, you want to be around other open-minded thinkers. You want to be in an entrepreneurial think tank. You want to be out there with the movers and shakers. And then there's something to be said for what Dr. Wayne Dyer talked about, those different archetypes, that statesman mentality when you're in your 50s, you're moving in your upper 40s, 50s, 60s, and you want to give back to the youth, right?
Yeah. There is a time when something switches.
Yeah.
And you really do want to give, when I was in my 20s and 30s, all I thought about, got to make money, got to do this, got to do that, get more things done. And then something just switched in my head. And I wasn't saying, I'm successful now, but I just wanted to help because I not only saw the mistakes, and I don't like the word mistakes, missteps that I made, and you don't want people to do that.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah, that reminds me too of Chris Krimitsos and his group back in the day with the Tampa Bay business owners. That was a really unique community because I saw a lot of that. I saw a lot of the Shark Tank guys coming back and showing their products, and it's just interesting because it opens up your mind. I think it's a big deal too when you think about a guy like a Mike Rowe that had the dirty jobs, and he's pretty well known now as the blue collar guy. Mm-hmm. Like he's the guy when you think about blue collar, and he made a good point. He said, "Look, in high schools now, and years ago, we took the shop class out of high schools." And what did that do? If you really analyze, what's the big deal? They just removed one class from the curriculum. They can choose other things. Well, what it does, though, in the mind of a growing adolescent, it limits their ideas, right? So if I no longer think that I can go in there and I can take a piece of wood, and I remember back in the day I made a clock. It was, you put a little motor on the back with a battery in it, and you made your favorite football team, and you painted it. I remember back then I liked the Raiders because they played tough football, so I had to paint it charcoal gray or whatever. But, just you're removing that from the youth in a way, right? And it's bigger than just that one shop class, right?
It's much bigger. It's the sense of accomplishment, sense of you made something with your hands that you knew you can do it. And, people were helping you. You've got a mentor. You put something together. You got help. You had to ask for help. It's a whole bunch of things put together.
Right. Yeah, and then if you take that to launching a business, it's a whole nother level. And talk a little bit more about the work that you're doing as president of United Inventors Association.
Yeah, so I took that to, like you said, another level, and I was on the board. I belonged to the United Inventors Association for a while. I was on the board. They elected me to be president, which I gladly took. And our job is to really help inventors, help innovators, help people to not only move forward in the best possible way, but in the right sequence.
Yeah.
And have them tell them, you don't know everything as an inventor. Inventors, like we talked about years and years ago, they worked in closets. They worked in the garage. They were scared to talk to people, really, because there was no one for them to reach out and talk to.
Public shaming type of thing?
Yes.
Like a little bit?
Yeah, just, I saw a UFO. You all of a sudden, you were crazy.
Right,
now you're an inventor. You're crazy.
Yeah.
Everybody thinks of, a guy in a white jacket, in a white medic suit working in their garage, like,
Doc Emmett.
Yeah,
Dr. Emmett
exactly.
From
So, it's so much fun, and it's really opened up in innovation and inventors. It's come full circle to now with Shark Tank. People look to inventors. They look to innovators and the young people who are doing that as the people who are going to shape our future.
Yeah.
And that's what's so great about it. And that's what we're trying to do with the UIA. Really let people know it's okay to be an inventor. It's okay to make mistakes. It's okay not to know.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because it's all a theory. You start off with a theory, like, hey, will this sell? Will this product work? And then you got to try to prove it and figure out all the chain there, the supply chain, the logistics of creating that prototype. I remember I had a meeting with Billy Mays back in the day. Billy Mays, and it was a product, and he says, hey, look, I still remember him saying it. You got to be demonstrable. It's got to be something that can be, certain profit percentages and things of that nature. But yeah, it was interesting to have that conversation. Went to his house. A friend of mine introduced me, and so you think about those types of conversations, and you think about where we are today with the opportunity. That's what I keep going back to. That opportunity that the youth has, and many times we they maybe take it for granted or just say, oh, it's too much work. And, that's the hard part. And I think that's unfortunately for the youth where we may be missing with this technology and AI, we might be missing a little bit of the critical skill thinking, right?
It definitely is. When things are too easy, we all know that.
Yeah.
It's like water. Most of the time it's going to take the easiest route because, hey, when things get hard, what do you want to do? You want to take the easy route. But there are still those young youth and schools and people that are really helping them say, no, it's okay to fail. Our youth, even my daughter, she's very worried about failing because she may be shamed on social media or some of her friends might say something.
Yeah.
And I'm just guessing. That's it. But,
sure.
But I think that social media plays a big part in the worry of that failure. But the failure is what builds your character, helps you learn.
Yeah, build the muscle and learn what not to do. Didn't work that time. I'll just shift it and change it and make it different next time. All right, quick break, right back. More with Carmine Denisco in studio with us, United Inventors Association. He's also, you can find him on LinkedIn as well, in links on our website, consumerqb.com. And thanks for supporting the show, reaching out and doing your real estate deals with us, talking to our legal advisors. We've got all types of great attorneys, blue-collar companies, all different types of great companies associated with the Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
Thanks for listening to my daddy's show. Please make sure to send him all of your real estate deals and subscribe to the Consumer Quarterback Show podcast on iTunes and Spotify, or check out our YouTube channel. Have a blessed day.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-917-1894. Online at consumerqb.com.
Did you know that we buy houses cash? We can close quickly for a all-cash offer on your real estate properties, residential, commercial, even vacant land. We'll buy your property cash. No cleanings, no showings, and no hassles. You can even possibly stay in your home post-closing. Call Brandon at 813-917-1894. Submit the email at consumerqb.com or call 813-917-1894, consumerqb.com. We buy houses cash and fast.
Attention business owners, did you know we have 100% financing options available? Our no money down program offers 100% financing for business owners. If you are currently leasing your commercial space, you can purchase real estate for no money down. Additionally, the program offers money for working capital, equipment, and business fixtures. You can even pay off current business debt. Reach out at 813-917-1894. Call or text 813-917-1894. BRimes at kw.com. And that is our 100% financing, no money down program for business owners. We would love to help you buying, selling, or investing in real estate. 813-917-1894. BRimes at kw.com.
Ours Creole Smokehouse, the official Pinellas County restaurant partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show. Say hello to Doug Clark, chef and owner Doug Clark, 310 East Tarpon Avenue, Tarpon Springs, ourscreole.com. Ours Creole Smokehouse, 310 East Tarpon Avenue, Tarpon Springs, ourscreole.com. Excellent food, wonderful ambiance. Say hello to our friend Doug Clark. If you're facing an insurance claim, don't just trust the insurance company to have your best interests at heart. This is Brandon Rimes, Consumer Quarterback Show. Reach out to rightwaypa.com, our friend Derek Coble at rightwaypa.com. Looking to level up your sales game? With 20 plus years of coaching experience spanning across several industries, Lindsay Rimes helps everyone from entry-level reps to seasoned business owners boost sales, improve work-life balance, and retain top talent with customized options catered to personal, group, or corporate settings. Brandon and Lindsay Rimes offer training on negotiation strategy, business development, and more. Let's grow your business together. Call 813-917-1894. That's 813-917-1894. Submit an email at consumerqb.com.
You're listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rimes. Online at consumerqb.com. Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Call Brandon today at 813-917-1894. 1894.
All right, I got to talk a little bit about, I got a clip I'm going to play from Victor Davis Hanson, talk about home ownership, the importance of home ownership and the differences between, renting versus owning. So really cool, more on the higher level, that theoretical behind it of, the tragedy to commons versus owning something and being able to build a legacy, passing it down. Also, Carmine Denisco in studio with us, United Inventors Association. And kind of an interesting story, too, fun fact here, the Z word, I don't even like to say it on the air, but Zillow lost $881 in stock at $1 million, and also a large amount of stock value in the billions, buying their own homes with their own algorithm. So those folks, people out there that think, that they can just go to that website and it's going to pull up a number and that's going to be the number, or even close in some cases. It's going to be wrong. I've seen it wrong high and wrong on the low, but that's why they call it Zestimate, an estimate. So just be careful when you think about, pricing properties. There's nothing that's going to replace an industry professional, whether it's a guy like Ray Hall Approvals. He'll do a owner's use appraisal for any of our listening audience out there. Ray Hall will do that owner's use appraisal, save you some money. You don't pay full price on that. And then, of course, a real estate agent can do a CMA, comparable market analysis. And there's also one called a broker's price opinion. That's a little bit more called a BPO. That's more when the banks are using valuation tools there. But we've got Carmine in studio with us. He's a wealth of knowledge around the inventing, the entrepreneurship, business startup. You think about that, all the different logistics, everything that goes into that. I want to ask him, what's his number one consumer tips out there for that aspiring young man or woman that are coming up, men and women coming up, that just they think they have an idea and some of those ideas. I want to get some tips from him coming up here on the show. Also touch on our webinar series we've got going on for his group there as well. I'm not sure if that's open to outside people or not. If they wanted to register for that, yes, it could be. Okay, great. So we'll talk about a webinar series that we're going to be hosting as well with Carmine and his group, the United Inventors Association, over 100,000 strong in that very unique group. All right, a couple of hot listings. We'll jump into it. 10129 Little Road. This one is a commercial property. It's currently operating as a chiropractor office, and we have a show listener here that would love to, sell this property, a friend of the program, that is. 10129 Little Road, Newport Richey. You got 2,337 square feet, over an acre of land. You have 2 full baths, 2 half bath, screen rear porch, over a dozen ADA compliant spaces as well. You've got a commercial property, great opportunity to buy real estate, Newport Richey, Florida. That's Pasco County. It's 10129 Little Road in Newport Richey. Great opportunity to buy real estate here in beautiful Tampa Bay. 12941 Wildflower, another listing that we have. This one is compliments of Jamie on our team. I believe that's Jamie's listing over at 12941 Wildflower Meadow Drive, Riverview, Florida. 5 bedrooms, 2.5 bath, 2-car garage, 2,949 square feet. This is located in Triple Creek, a vibrant Riverview community with 990 acres of planned development. Now, that's a big project, Carmine, at almost 1,000 acres of development. And when you have a big development like that, you get the beautiful tennis and basketball courts. You got a big lap pool, child pool there. You got a huge clubhouse. So that's what you get with a home like that at 12941 Wildflower Meadow Drive, Riverview, Florida. Great opportunity to buy real estate. You can see all of our listings at PlatinumMVPTeam.kw.com. All right, so quick segment here, Carmine. Consumer tip, things to think about, what to look out for out there.
First thing, take the excitement, take the emotion out of your idea, because people will take advantage of that. Talk to people who have actually done what you're asking them to do, not theory. So if people just are looking to charge you to take your invention to market, ask them not only how many times they've done this, but how successful they have been. It's very, very important to take the emotion out of any business, as you guys know.
Yeah, when you're hiring anybody, whether it's an attorney, a realtor, ask them questions. Come up with some really good questions to ask that professional. And if they take it the wrong way, then they take it the wrong way. You got the wrong professional. But if they're really that consummate professional, they're going to be happy to answer those questions. I'm going to say, I'm glad you asked that, because here's the results that we've proven. All right, quick break. More with Carmine Denisco coming up here. United Inventors Association. Association on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Kind of a special show today about entrepreneurship, innovation, business, things happening right here in Tampa Bay. Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
Hey, I'm Ken Shamrock, and you're here with Consumer Quarterback Show. And I say, Brandon Rimes, knock out your competition.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-917-1894. Online at consumerqb.com. You're listening to the Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rimes, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. Online at consumerqb.com.
All right, welcome back. Brandon Rimes here in studio. Carmine Denisco, United Inventors Association. We also have Natacha Sanderson joining us as well, Stage to Sell Tampa Bay on the Consumer Quarterback Show. We always like to feature our real estate properties. It's part of our strategy that helps us sell faster for more money with less headaches. We've got a property at South Taylor Road. This one is another vacant land opportunity. Buy some dirt and build your dream investment property here. 2.4 acres. You could build duplexes here on this property on South Taylor Road. Great opportunity. You're high and dry. The area is experiencing rapid growth. You're close to I-4 and I-75 there at South Taylor Road, Seffner, Florida. Great opportunity to buy real estate there from the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. 7200 Olmerton Road, number 3. This one's over in Largo. We have a 2-bedroom, 2-bath, 1-spot carport there on Olmerton Road in the heart of Pinellas County. This is Largo, Florida. Low monthly HOA. You got a community pool there, clubhouse, open concept, porcelain tile flooring throughout, stainless steel appliances, granite countertops, community pool. Great opportunity. 7200 Olmerton Road. E3 is the unit. E3 in Largo. Great opportunity to buy real estate, and you can see all of our listings at platinummvpteam.kw.com.
This is God's country.
All right, Carmine back in studio with us. Let's talk about the webinar series because we're opening that up to everybody. So that's going to be a fun time, and it's open to all your 100,000 plus folks as well.
Yeah, correct. I mean, I think that's going to be so informative for for everyone in our membership, but also opening it up to the general public is really going to be a plus, an extra. I think it's going to be really cool.
I love that. Yeah, and what are we going to talk about on there? Real estate investing, business tips, strategy.
Yeah, man. I
Lindsay's
mean, you guys flow this stuff every day, so
yeah.
I mean, you said you don't even have to prepare; you just turn on the mic.
Let's do it, man. Let's do it. I mean, I've written the books on it. I got a couple books here that we've written, and that's a lot of fun. That was one of my ideas originally too, is to take this model of real estate company into other markets. So in other words, making a quarterback up in Atlanta, Georgia, a quarterback in the all the different states,
Yeah, we're opening it up also to a lot of the schools we work with, USF, UCF, University of Tampa, Florida State. So we're pushing it out to them too because we work with a lot of the business schools.
Yeah, that'd be really cool. I love that, man. Entrepreneurship, innovation, business, finance, what's going on in the state. A lot of people don't realize, but the state, we are in Florida here. So you have the number one state, again, that CNBC article everybody's probably talking about in your circle, right? Number one for the third year in a row, Florida. You got the lowest state number of state workers per capita. You got the lowest debt per capita, second lowest spending per capita, no income tax, number one public education system, lowest in-state tuition. That's great. Let's keep the local talent. Let's keep the talent local. Universal school choice. In other words, if the kid's born in, living in a bad area, he can go across the county and go to school. Law and order policies. Number one for new business formations, and we're talking with Carmine Denisco, United Inventors Association. Carmine, I wanted to get into a little bit of, too, the whole point of keeping the talent local. Florida is hot for investment, and we got to keep these kids down here, right?
Oh, 100%. And a lot of organizations here in Florida are doing just that. I'm amazed when I go to these schools and I talk to the students and I talk to the business schools, how much money is flowing in and giving these kids, when I say kids, these young adults, the chance to keep their businesses that they're starting here in Florida. It's amazing, and they're doing a great job.
Yeah, I love it, man. And speaking of that, I was telling you a little bit off air about BKFC, so Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship. A friend of mine called me and said, Brandon, I've got he's got investor packets out there. So if anybody's interested in something like this, it's bare knuckle fighting, but they have the second brand is Ice Wars. And I've had Charlie on the show before. So if you pull up the video, Charlie Namo, you can see the YouTube video where, he's looking for investment. So it's another entrepreneurial idea. He is, I think it's $2 million gets you 10% of the company. And BKFC Ice Wars is going to be in Sunrise, Florida, coming up in October. So I'm probably going to go down to that, get 4 or 5 tickets to take some friends. But, the investment is an opportunity for folks out there to invest in something like that. And, it's pretty cool because what's the best part of hockey in a lot of people's minds?
Yeah, fighting.
The fighting part, right? So they literally have fights on ice, and these guys are, going in the ring, and they're, one-on-one there with 90-minute, I think it's 90-second rounds, maybe something like that. But pretty cool. Conor McGregor's behind it, too, so he's an investor.
Yeah.
So I thought I'd mention BKFC Ice Wars. Reach out to the show if you'd like any information about that, or maybe you want to be put in touch with Carmine as well. 813-917-1894. You can call or text that show hotline, 813-917-1894, and online at consumerqb.com, consumerqb.com. And I wanted to get to some local real estate stats here as well. A lot of folks like the fact that we highlight the real estate area here and talking about the market. So you have currently in Hillsborough County for non-distressed properties, you have 7,038 active listings. And if you divide that 7,038 by the solds, that's 1,834 sold. You have a 26.1% absorption rate. Okay, so how fast the properties are being sold and absorbed from the market, 26.1%. Now, if you compare that to some of the days of old, in March of 22, that absorption rate was 219%. So pretty crazy back then, right? And if you look at the current supply of inventory, 3.8 months supply of inventory right now in Hillsborough County. So if you're buying, selling, investing, we would love to talk to you. Reach out to the show. We'll put you in touch with any of our expert contributors, by the way. If it's not just real estate related, all the different areas that we cover here on the program. Carmine, what else are you seeing out there? What else is topical? I know you got some big names of folks you're working with as well.
Yeah, the great part about innovation and invention, it's kind of call it the follow the sun model. It goes towards seasons, it goes towards different sports and different things. So, we're seeing a lot of football type products, or ways in which people play games when they're at the game, at the game itself, and tailgating products, and you see it as those sports come around. So it's a lot of fun. We had a bunch of golf products come in the other last several months because people were watching golf. And you get the normal products with the housewares and things like that, and then the shows will come around and you'll get hardware products. So it's a lot of fun to see the differences in as products are driven by not only the economy, but also, the different seasons.
I'm predicting right now, 6 months, 18 months out, we're going to have a booming economy. All of these Trump business plans that we're pro-business, we're loosening up regulations, we're encouraging business to remanufacture in America, onshore, in other words. I'm predicting, rates are going to get better. This economy is going to be booming in about 18 months, 12 to 18 months. And you look at the opportunity, that entrepreneurship mindset, and just that mindset of, how much of it is the mindset as well?
Boy, it's 99% mindset. Not only are the products out there, the money's out there, the people are out there to help you, but you have to have that mindset. And it's not easy to be an entrepreneur. You guys all know that. So you have to have that mindset.
Yeah, absolutely. You got to wake up every day and go through your morning routines, get out there, talk to people. We talked about the power of proximity. What's one of the others? One of the key terms, proximity is meaning, hey, I'm going to get into that networking group, or I'm going to go to that event. Yeah, I'm going to pay $500 for the ticket, but I'm going to go because I know I'm going to be in that group of people that may be able to help my business. Another is power focus. Focusing on what your goal is at all times, and never coming off of that focus, because where your focus flows, your energy is going to flow. And if you start looking at other areas, you're going to lose that side of the main goal. Keep the main thing the main thing.
Yeah, you can't be that chasing shiny object person. You have to now, I'm not saying don't pivot.
Yeah.
Okay. Don't follow down a rabbit hole and because you're scared to tell your friends your idea didn't work. Yeah. I've crashed businesses. It happens.
Right.
But the main thing is to know when you have to pivot.
Yeah.
Not follow shiny objects.
Yeah, I like that, pivot. As long as it's same relation, same ballpark in a sense. if you start throwing in all these different ideas, then people might say, well, you're diluting where your main focus is.
Happens all the time. I have an inventor that has 10 inventions. I said, give me one.
Yeah. What's your best one? Give it to me. I love that. All right, good stuff. So Carmine, how can people connect with you, man?
So you go on out to uiausa.org, sign up, be a member, reach out, let us know how you're doing. You can also check me out at earmarksourcing.com too for our for-profit business.
I love it. Earmark sourcing, and that's dealing with going overseas, finding pairing those parties up, basically, in a sense, right?
Yeah. We'll get your product from idea to store shelf.
I love that. Good stuff, man. All right, thanks for coming in, bud. Appreciate it.
No problem. I love it.
Quick break, right back. More with Natacha Sanderson on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Stage to Sell, Tampa Bay in the house. And follow us online. We'd love to connect at BrandonRimes1 at CQB Show. And please subscribe to the YouTube channel out there as well, the Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
Hey, this is Grant Cardone, and you're listening to Consumer Quarterback Show, hosted by my friend Brandon Rimes. Do not touch that dial. I'll come right through the radio and grab your throat.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-917-1894. Online at consumerqb.com.
Long lines at the airport? Check out Tampa Bay's premier private jet source. I'm Brandon Rimes for Will Smith Aviation. Aircraft management, acquisition, and sales, luxury jet escapes, and packages. Check them out online. WillSmithAviation.com. That's WillSmithAviation.com. Or call the show. I'll put you right in touch directly with Captain Will Smith. AmericaFirstPatriotStore.com for all of your non-woke, American-made products. American values, Christian, conservative American values. Say hello to my business partner, Jim McCune at AmericaFirstPatriotStore.com. David Reynolds Jewelry and Coin.com. Say hello to Shane Socash, longtime friend of the Consumer Quarterback Show, 4009 Central Avenue, St. Petersburg. Online at David Reynolds Jewelry and Coin.com for all of your precious metals and jewelry design. David Reynolds Jewelry and Coin.com. Hey, Brandon Rimes here for Jason Coble, owner of Coble Law. Coble Law has been handling injury cases in Tampa for the past 14 years and has a specialized approach focused on limiting client cost and maximizing client profit. TampaWorkCompLaw.com, TampaWorkCompLaw.com. Jason Coble, longtime friend of the Consumer Quarterback Show, personal injury law, and work comp law. Hey, Brandon Rimes here for our friends at TargetSurveying.net for all of your surveying needs. Land surveying firm providing services for real estate since 1992, and they are statewide. Check them out online, TargetSurveying.net. That's TargetSurveying.net. Selling commercial, vacant land, or residential properties? Don't leave money on the table. List with the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. I'm Brandon Rimes. You can reach me at 813-917-1894. Call or text 813-917-1894. Online at consumerqb.com. That's consumerqb, like quarterback.com. Buying, selling, investing, or refinancing? We would love to talk to you. Thank you so much and have a blessed day.
You're listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rimes. Online at consumerqb.com. Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Call Brandon today at 813-917-1894.
All right, Brandon Rimes here, Consumer Quarterback Show, powered by the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty, always helping you win in any marketplace, buying, selling, investing, refinancing. We got Natacha Sanderson joining us in studio as well. Top 5 reasons to hire a home stager, also top 5 reasons to hire a real estate agent. We'll go through those here in just a moment. A couple of hot listings as well. As you know, we like to feature our real estate properties live on air. It's part of a strategy that helps us sell faster for more money with less headaches, maximizing the exposure on the profit on the sale of our real estate listings. We got some listings here. Let's check this one out. 5419 Cyril Drive in Dade City. We got this one in Dade City. This one as well. This is currently 22-1784. This is a perfect flip opportunity. Buy and flip, or maybe renovate and rent. 5419 Cyril Avenue in Dade City. It's 1780 square feet. 2.6 acres of fenced land with a smaller fenced area for farm animal. Now, that's something where you look at the zoning and you say, hey, maybe I can put another unit, an additional dwelling unit. Maybe I can put another home or two on that lot. Check out this listing. This is Doug's listing. I believe it might be a short sale as well from the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. Great opportunity to buy real estate. 10711 Old Sycamore Loop. This one's in Land O'Lakes. We have a 2-story home, single-family home in Land O'Lakes, Florida, at 10711 Old Sycamore Loop. 4 bedrooms, 2.5 bath, 2-car garage, 46 square feet, single-family home. You have stainless steel appliances, lighter color kitchen cabinetry, huge backyard, fenced-in backyard, and a gorgeous clubhouse and pool. Great opportunity to buy real estate. You can see all of our listings at platinummvpteam.kw.com. All right, Natacha Sanderson back in studio with us. Welcome back.
Thanks for having me.
My pleasure. What's new in your world?
Oh, not much. Just so much of mold and rain.
Oh, boy. Yeah, you got one of those projects going on?
Yes, we do, unfortunately.
That's parts of the business owner entrepreneurship we're just talking about with Carmine, right?
Oh, yeah.
We talked about all the fun stuff and inventing and coming up with the idea, but the backside is dealing with problems, right?
Yeah. When you start to open up walls, you discover everything that was been creeping and hiding for a long time.
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah.
Top 5 reasons to hire a real estate agent. Okay, so number 1, it says here, deliver industry expert. A great agent knows how to adjust their strategy as the market shifts and will walk you through what's working for other sellers right now. I think that's an important point.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Tell me, in your industry, what are some of the top reasons why people want to hire a home stager?
Well, for that reason right there, we can walk into a house and we can spot the differences of what your buyer is going to want versus what they don't want.
Yeah. Real world advice.
Yeah.
Not like, some of the different folks that are coaches and they never actually sold real estate, or coaches that never played the game. That's one of my pet peeves. Some of these guys, they're high level coaches, but they never actually played. I don't know. I'm not going to be able to buy into that culture, I don't think. All right. Number 2, provide local market insights. Wondering how long it will take to sell or what it might sell for? A local agent stays on top of the trends and can give you a clear picture of what to expect. Your thoughts?
Unrealistic expectations kill it all the time. And I'm so tired of, one, the homeowner trying to dictate or be more knowledgeable than an expert real estate agent, and trying to tell them how to set the price when your agent already knows what the market is saying. So listen to your agents. Don't try to fight with them over it. 2, greed. 3, unrealistic expectations. Like if they're telling you can sell the house at $650,000, but nothing has sold even at the height of the market, nothing sold at that price. Don't list your house at $650,000. You're not going to get it.
Yeah, they're being unrealistic. A lot of times you see that too on the flip side. Like I've seen it in situations where, for example, the real estate agent can use the comps as a weapon in a way, right? So I'm going to show, for example, they've gone and I've seen some of these scenarios play out because I've been in those listing appointments right behind this guy. So this guy comes in, he says, Mrs. Smith, your property, I know people are telling you it's worth this, but no, it's only worth X minus 50 because they're showing that old lady old comps, or maybe the widow, and they're showing them old comparables and trying to justify so their friend can come in and swoop in and buy the property through an LLC.
Right.
That whole backhanded deal right there.
Yeah, I've seen it time and time again. But I've walked into a lot of properties from a stager standpoint where I hear, okay, my first question is, what are we listing at? Because I need to know how much lipstick on a pig I've got to do sometimes. Or if it's a really good remodel, it's, okay, how much furniture do I need to bring in here to elevate your home to make it to that price point, since some of them don't have a lot of the updates, or they're very custom, and a lot of people don't want all of those custom things. Yeah, so when I hear, I'm trying to list for this much money, I'm like, the market doesn't dictate that. Yeah. Like, I can't even bring in that kind of furniture to help you. Yeah. So they've already set the tone with these unrealistic expectations, and then I get blamed on the backside. Well, you didn't bring nice enough furniture because you didn't make my house look pretty enough. Uh-oh. Okay, so we're setting the tone already there. So I think as if we function as a team from the get-go, like it makes it much more smooth sailing. Yeah, absolutely. It's all about that initial, hey, we're going to jive together, that listing appointment where you're talking to people. We're all a team. Yeah, making sure. Yeah, exactly. And the expectations
a lot of people do have those wrong expectations. They don't fully understand the market. They don't even understand how commissions work, or hey, what about these taxes that they're taking out at closing? And the biggest one I get to, Natasha, is the biggest misconception in real estate. In a lot of cases, one of the biggest is going to be, well, who pays the closing cost, Brandon? Who pays the closing cost? And the truth is, there's no the closing cost. There's buyer side closing cost, and there's seller side closing costs.
Right.
So when people make offers and they say, yeah, but he pays the closing cost, we need a percentage number. Okay, are you asking for 1% concessions, 2%, 3%, or we need a number? Give us a number, because a lot of times people get that wrong, and there's so many misconceptions now. Also from that lawsuit that passed, just ridiculousness, in my opinion, that didn't need to happen. The motivation factor is there. Nothing's changed with motivation, right? I'm going to sell a property and I want to make a commission. That's pretty much how you summarize the lawsuit that happened in our industry, because people are going to sell properties and they're going to list and sell properties if it makes sense for them economically. All right, so let's move on to our next top 5 reasons to hire a real estate agent. And we're also coupling it with Natacha Sanderson's business, Stage to Sell Tampa Bay, top 5 reasons to hire a staging company. Number 3, okay, so price it right from the start. Your agent will determine the best asking price based on latest data. That way you don't leave money on the table or risk pricing too high. Your thoughts?
That's exactly right. We just staged a house that my personal opinion is it's priced about $50,000 too high. The market doesn't dictate it. The agent came back and says, well, we can offer seller concessions and we can lower the price. Mm-hmm. Well, why do that from the beginning? Because you're limiting your buyer market. What if your buyer is in the $599,000, right below the $600, and you're already talking about lowering it, but you just marked all of those buyers out of there. They're not even looking at you anymore. Now you're in a whole different price bracket, and they may not be necessarily looking in your neighborhood. Your neighborhood doesn't call for that kind of home. So I think if you know what your neighbors' homes are, if they're 2 bedrooms, 1 bath, and your house is a 4-bedroom, 3 baths, your house is already significantly larger than the majority of the homes in the area. Your buyer is probably not going to be in your neighborhood. Yeah,
that's a good point here. When you look at pricing, I think Natasha's point was when you price something underneath what we look at as a bucket. When people shop for real estate, they shop in buckets from 150 to 200, 250 to 300, right? So rather than pricing the home at 621,000 or 609, you would price it at 599, okay? And then you're going to bring in all those extra eyeballs and people that are online clicking. Secondly, pricing it right from the start. Well, what if we price it too low, Brandon? Well, if you price it too low, guess what's going to happen? Multiple bids, highest and best opportunities. You're going to have so many people coming to buy that home because it's going to be priced so well.
People don't understand the price low strategy. The price low strategy has won many times over.
That's right.
You don't want to price it too low. You want to price it right where you're comfortable being. So in that $599 range, you're going to get people that are going to come and increase. If there's a bidding war, you're probably going to get to that 609, maybe even 615.
Yeah.
People are going to come out of pocket. But you have to remember, a lot of your buyers are pre-approved. So they're looking at their max amount that they're pre-approved for. So keep that into consideration when you're listing your home. Don't try to overshoot it and overmarket yourself and then never get anything.
Yeah, pricing it right, because then if you look at, especially if it's a property you're not living in, you look at carrying costs. So if you miss that initial buyer, I can't tell you how many times it's happened, and then we have that initial offer. It's a little lower than we wanted. Let's not take this buyer seriously, Brandon. Let's pass this one up. And then they're begging for an offer like that 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, 6 months down the road.
That always happens.
Yeah, it happens a lot. And people they don't understand the way the market works. All right, we got to get through these last 2. Number 4, navigate the fine print with confidence. A trusted real estate agent can walk you through various document disclosure along the way, so know exactly what you're signing. That way you can avoid mistakes. Number 5, have a pro negotiator in your corner. In today's business, buyers are more likely to ask for repairs, concessions. Your agent will handle back and forth, keep things on track, and make sure your best interests are front and center. There's the culmination of the top 5 reasons to hire a real estate agent and also hiring a staging company. Stage to Sell Tampa Bay, STSdesigns.com. Final thoughts, Natacha Sanderson, back to you.
Oh, gosh. Give me a call if I can help you with any of your properties.
Yes, call the hotline. We'll put you in touch. Reach out to the website. And she's got a super cool niche with short-term rentals, can help you there as well, improving the properties, doing a lot of the actual work on the properties as well as staging. So reach out to the show hotline, 813-917-1894. All of your staging needs. Natacha Sanderson, Stage to Sell Tampa Bay, 813-917-1894. Online at consumerqb.com. consumerqb.com. Thanks for coming in, Natacha.
Thanks for having me.
My pleasure. All right. Hey, another great show. I want to thank everybody for tuning in and all the great producers on the team back there making things happen. Please go out there and consider committing a random act of kindness. Do something kind for one another. Be a force for good in the community. And thanks for watching and consuming the Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
You've been listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rimes. Whether it's real estate, consumer, or financial advice, let Brandon call your next play. Call Brandon Rimes at 813-917-1894. That's 813-917-1894. Online at consumerqb.com. And join us next time for the Consumer Quarterback Show.